Today I wanted to do a book discussion type thing, spoiler free, so don't worry about that. So the book that I'm talking about is Companions of the Night by Vivian van Velde. I don't know how to say those names. I covered the cover up and ripped a page from the inside and just stuck it on because this book cover and the other book cover does not do this book justice. So this is a standalone paranormal book. It's essentially a vampire book, and Before You Run Away, this is probably one of my favorite vampire books that I have read. Now, I'm not going to compare it to Dracula. Anyway, it follows this young girl named Carrie, and it follows her and another character within the span of a few days. I think it's like 2 or 3 nights or something like that. The book starts off with our main character, Carrie, and she goes into a laundromat in the middle of the night, and she comes across people who claim to be vampire hunters, and they have someone tied up who they seem to think is a vampire, and Carrie tries to help this boy. So after that crazy event, Carrie comes home one night from work and realizes that both her dad and her little brother are kidnapped. And so the whole story is basically a journey about Carrie trying to save and find her family, and she does this by teaming up with the young boy that she met at the laundromat the night before. I thought that was a really cool premise because it didn't seem like the whole story was about the romance. And to be honest with you guys, I don't think there really is a romance in this book. There is kind of tension. Obviously, Carrie is a 16-year-old girl, and she finds this boy attractive. I mean, that's a normal thing. I look at strangers all the time and find people attractive. It's not there's no insta love, and there's no romantic subplot per se. I would say that the whole book is to do with their journey. There aren't really many characters within this book. There is basically only Carrie. I really like the actions and the thought behind the actions that she makes within this book. She's not a Bella, but she's also not a Katniss. She's very confused about this whole new world, and she asks the stupid questions that a lot of people would probably ask in that situation. Because when you look at books like Bella, not to trash on Twilight, 'cause I did really enjoy Twilight, but I feel like she didn't really ask the important questions. She just kind of went along with it, whereas this is different. Carrie really wants to learn about this world, and she's just so curious about everything, and she's also scared. She's not brave at all. She's scared about what's going to happen to her. She's scared about what's going to happen to her father and brother, which again, I find is really realistic, because sometimes you see in books where it's like the hero of the book is always so worried about everyone else and they don't even care about themselves. No, Carrie cares about herself. She's scared for her life as well. The other character that we kind of see all throughout the book is this young boy. I really don't want to say too much about him, but I think what the author tried to do with him was kind of take that bad boy, moody, mysterious stereotype and kind of flip it, kind of makes fun of it a little bit and kind of plays around with it at the same time there is still depth to him. He is still a complicated character, and I think what I love most about this book is it's a standalone. So you don't really, like, you still have questions. I really like those books personally. I think I like not so much open-ended books, because it does have a closure. It's just there's still more to be discovered, and I like that. The writing style was also something that I found really interesting, because it reminded me a lot of kind of folklore type writing style. Not so much fairy tale retelling-esque. It's very dark, but not in a dark fairy tale way. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, I would highly recommend this book if you are a fan of vampire books. I would also recommend it to people who used to be a vampire fan but have lost all hope in that genre. Also, it was written before Twilight, and I think if I were to compare it to something, I would say that it's similar to Buffy the Vampire Slayer / maybe like Interview with the Vampire. I know I haven't read that book, but I have heard a lot of things about it, and it gives me that sort of vibe. So yes, highly recommend. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you guys soon.